MCU fans, DCEU fans, and all in all entertainment fans, welcome back to This Week in News here at Murphy's Multiverse. I'm your host Tyler Moulton, and this week we discuss why contracts are making mutants in the MCU take longer than expected, Kevin Feige's inside new outlook going forward with the Avengers films, and huge new updates, set photos, rumors, and much more. So let's jump right into this. The San Diego Comic-Con was bumping last week, and MurphysMultiverse.com has you covered on anything you might have missed from this event, so make sure to go check that out. 24 hours after the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer dropped, it almost doubled in viewership compared to the first Black Panther trailer. The film's biggest secret in Tenoch Huerta playing as Namor the Submariner was finally revealed. But what's even more shocking is the major changes that the MCU is making with his origin story. Now, how do we know this? Well, right after the trailer reveal, toy and memorabilia companies like Hasbro didn't hesitate to begin pre-orders on merchandise revolving around the Submariner. The description on the back of this particular Namor figure states that he is not the ruler of Atlantis. Instead, he rules an underwater civilization called Talokan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would Marvel Studios waste so much of their time just changing this small little detail? Well, honestly, we can probably thank Jason Momoa for this one, as the MCU is more than likely trying to be original here and keeping themselves separated from the DCEU's Aquaman. Also, Talokan isn't just some random word thrown out in a production meeting either. It's just another way to tie into the real-world history for Mayan and Aztec legend. The history behind this is that Tlalocan was considered a mythological realm of paradise ruled by the rain god named Tlaloc. Pretty cool, right? Now, when it comes to gamers, the Black Panther franchise is making a game that is every MCU fan's wet dream. And that's not just because it's currently called Project Rainier either. It's because this game will allow you to become the next Black Panther in an open world setting. Now, I'm a huge fan of GTA and Black Panther on the big screen, but I would have never imagined seeing elements of the two in one single video game. Before we get into these next big updates for the MCU that go as far as the year 2025, both Ant-Man 3 and Secret Invasion have some big updates we need to discuss. Director Peyton Reed spoke this week about Scott Lang's character and how we'll see a big disconnect in Ant-Man 3 between him and his now 18-year-old daughter Cassie Lang. Reed shows us how different this film will be from the rest, stating, "We really wanted to take a hard left turn and make a movie that was even more epic but still progress the story of the family dynamics." Christopher McDonald, or as I've always known him as Shooter McGavin, talked about the reshoots that are now going down for Secret Invasion. He said, "We're actually heading back to London on Tuesday to do additional scenes. They're doing reshoots in a way to make the story better. Apparently, there's a new writer in there. He's amped it up and the series is going to be so much deeper than before." So guys, it's no secret that Marvel Studios put on a massive display during the San Diego Comic-Con, giving fans a comprehensive look at what's now officially known as the Multiverse Saga. And this timeline gives plenty of breathing room to fit in many projects that us fans have been waiting for, including mutants like Wolverine. Unfortunately, we are now learning that the deal made in 2019, where Disney officially completed its acquisition and merger with 20th Century Fox, is not exactly set in stone as we might have once thought. In a recent podcast at his Patreon, Cinema Sanga, journalist Devin Faraci shared some information about the situation behind the scenes with the delayed introduction of mutants in the MCU. He stated, "Despite the introduction of mutants at the end of Ms. Marvel, there's no mutants in Phase 5. I know why there's no mutants. There might be individual mutants. There might be other characters that show a certain interest. The reason why is the contractual situation with the original Fox stuff is going to be in effect until 2025. So if they don't want to use those actors, then they will have to wait until that contract all expires. So if they're going to have stuff hitting in 2025 at the end of the contract, then they'll announce it. But I think they actually can't go into production until that contract is up. So it's not even a release. It's the same thing with Superman. So you're not going to see mutants until Phase 7. So there are going to be mutants that will show up after the Multiverse Saga is over. Regardless of these hiccups, the future is looking well thought out and bright for the MCU. The first Avengers director has officially been announced, as Shang-Chi's Destin Daniel Cretton will be leading the helm with Avengers: The Kang Dynasty project. And Kevin Feige has talked about a new approach to the future that he hasn't done before. He said, "The truth is, when we were doing phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, there were less projects over more years. They were smaller projects and individual character stories, and it felt appropriate at that point that after every 2 or 3 years that it took for a phase, we would do an Avengers film. As phase 4, 5, and 6 were coming together, there are more projects in less years because of all the amazing stuff we're now allowed to do with Disney Plus, and getting characters from Fox, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool, that it felt like, certainly after Infinity War and Endgame, that we thought Avengers movies aren't cappers. So many of our movies now, Multiverse of Madness, and what you're about to see in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, are all big team-up films introducing big parts of the mythology. Avengers films really should be the capper to a saga. Taking a look over at Sonyverse Films, they have been very occupied with their upcoming project Madam Web. These first look set photos show Dakota Johnson's look in the titular role, and Just Jared has also provided photos of Adam Scott on the set as well. Switching gears over to the DCEU, we kind of got thrown for a curveball this week. A photo of Jason Momoa with Ben Affleck was taken on the set of Aquaman 2. Affleck is decked out in his old Bruce Wayne outfit, and with the DCEU these days constantly breaking away from the Snyderverse, and Ben Affleck repeatedly stating his bad experience as playing the Cape Crusader and how ready he is to be putting it all behind him, it's shocking to see him back in action as Bruce. Now this could mean many of different things, but my best guess is that Aquaman 2 could be just doing one last send-off for Affleck's Batman before everything completely changes. Moving into popular updates, the Creed franchise has given us some updates on the third installment, with Creed 3's release date confirmed for a 2023 release, and a spin-off for the franchise will be coming as well, which will focus on Dolph Lundgren's Drago as well as his son Victor Drago, who appeared in the second Creed film. Further details regarding the film are still unknown at the moment. Season 6 of Rick and Morty has officially been announced to come out on September 4th of this year. Heat 2 is also confirmed to be coming soon from director Michael Mann, and it is still unknown if Al Pacino or Robert De Niro will return in any way for this sequel. First set video of Amazon Prime's upcoming Fallout series was provided by a TikTok user who goes by Frank Papalardo, who also stated production was happening near his home. We can see in this video our first look at the series take on the iconic Super Duper Mart. Also, we can see that they are definitely sticking to that traditional dusted version of a post-apocalypse. And that is the news for this week. Let us know in the comment section below what your favorite piece of news was. And don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I want to thank you for watching this video, and as always, we will see you next week.